everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is the fourth video in our Word of the Day series. So you've already learned 3 awesome words, and today you are going to learn your 4th. And the reason that I chose today's word, quite honestly, is because it made me chuckle to myself when I saw the picture. So the word of the day today is pungent. Pungent. It feels quite good to say it. Say it with me. Pungent. And if you look very closely, this is a taste and smell word. So it came from the pink section of Mrs. Wordsmith, and it's an adjective. Adjectives, as you know, describe nouns, and it means very strong and smelly. Lovely. Very strong and smelly, like the stench of stinky, sweaty trainers after a long day of sport. Like the stench of stinky, sweaty trainers after a long day of sport. Nice. So I had a laugh when I looked at this picture. I thought, this is nice. I have some brothers, as some of you know, and my little brother, when we were younger, used to leave his pungent trainers in the hallway, which was gross. So yeah, this image made me chuckle. Here, and he's holding them at arm's length, as you can see, because the smell is so pungent that he can't stand to have them near his face. So the word of the day is pungent. Pungent, and it means very strong and smelly, like the stench of stinky, sweaty trainers after a long day of sport. Nice. Pungent. That feels good, feels good. Now, as you will know, I'm going to ask you to do some handwriting with this word in just a sec. But if there is a story behind a word, then I will find it out. And I have found out the story behind this word, because it didn't sound to me like a word that would have a history. But, surprise, surprise, it comes from the language of Latin. So, the word in Latin was pungens, okay? And so that's from Latin, and the verb, the doing word that it comes from, was pungo or punjo. I think I'm saying that correctly. And that means to sting. So, you know, like when a bee stings you or an insect stings you. So pungo or punjo means to sting in Latin. So that's quite interesting, because when you have something really smelly and the smell hits you in the nostrils, it kind of feels a little bit like it's stinging you because it's so nasty. So, I just thought that was quite an interesting word. And I looked into it a little bit further, did a little bit of research, and I also found out that there are lots of words, these are just 2 that I've written down here, from modern English that come from the same root. So they come from this same Latin word, puncture. So when you get a puncture in your tyre, so you might have been cycling along and gone over a nail or something sharp and it stings your tyre and you get a hole in your tyre, we call that a puncture, and it comes from the Latin. And also the word punctual. So if somebody is punctual, that means they're always on time, sharp, on time. They're always on the dot, on the time. And that kind of it's like sharp, isn't it? Like you're on time. They both come from the same Latin word root as our target word of the day. And I can't stop showing you this picture because, quite honestly, it's hilarious. Pungent. So, we have 2 challenges today. Challenge number 1 is handwriting. I am going to show you a time lapse of the handwriting that I would like you to do. You are going to copy it in your neatest, most beautiful handwriting. And there is a picture drawing challenge attached to that. So the main thing I want you to do is the handwriting, but there is also an additional challenge. So I'm going to show you the time lapse now. And if you would like to do the additional challenge as well, then please add that on. So time lapse. Okay, challenge number 2. You will now have done challenge number 1. Challenge number 2. I was looking at a website. I was researching this word. I was finding about the history of the word. And I found a website called thefreedictionary.com. I will put the link in the description. Now, obviously, guys, you remember what I said the other day. You do have to ask your parents before you go on any other website. So please, for me, do that. Anyway, so I was looking on thefreedictionary.com, and I actually came to that website because I Googled words that end in ENT. So our target word, pungent, ends in ENT. And I have got a theory. My theory, and I want you to see if you can prove me right or prove me wrong with a bit of research. My theory is that all words that end in ENT are adjectives. Now, I'm not talking about words that end in MENT, like government. That's MENT. And I'm not talking about words that end in NENT. I'm just talking about words that end in ENT. For example, translucent. I have a theory that all of those words are adjectives, and I would like you to prove me wrong. So I have a little challenge statement here. It says, Mrs. Thompson thinks that all words with ENT, all words ending in ENT are adjectives. Is she right or wrong? Give examples to support your answer. So if you are saying that I am wrong, you need to find me some words that do end in ENT that aren't adjectives. Give those answers to prove me wrong. And as I said before, MENT and NENT endings don't count. So go away, do a little bit of research. Obviously check with your parents first that you're allowed to go on other websites. Look, if you've got a dictionary at home, look in the dictionary. You can search up a few different words on dictionary.com and see if you can prove me right or wrong. I just have to look at this picture one more time because it made me chuckle. The word of the day today is pungent, which means very strong and smelly, like the stench of stinky, sweaty trainers after a long day of sport. To send you off with, I went on a little stroll around my house this morning and I looked for certain items that have a very pungent scent, a very pungent odour. And here are a few of the items that I found. Have a lovely day.